Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com. Professor Elliot Jacobson, who has me blocked on Twitter, says, I'm thinking we can get 10,000 people to report Climate the Movie on YouTube as having harmful and misleading content. It appears that he may have had some success with his censorship. Nir Shaviv, who is in the movie, says the movie has been removed from Vimeo. One of the central themes of the movie is that charged particles coming from the sun and other objects in space have a strong effect on Earth's climate. And right after the movie came out, the Washington Post ran an article confirming this. They reported on a study from Finland. Researchers in Finland correlated heating bills with the prevalence of the aurora borealis. Charged particles from the sun create the auroras, and apparently they have a strong effect on Finnish winter temperatures. It was nice of the Washington Post to confirm one of the central themes of the movie. The Washington Post presented this as if it was a new idea. But it's not a new idea. This was widely understood 100 years ago. According to official government temperature graphs, 1921 was one of the coldest years on record. But that's the exact opposite of reality. There was a global heat wave and drought in 1921, which sent millions of people to the brink of starvation. The Great Heat Wave, which has spread over the world during the present summer, has no parallel in history. Government agencies are simply making up temperatures which bear no resemblance to the historical record. May of 1921 brought one of the largest solar storms on record. The aurora was visible as far south as Mexico, and the energy which created the aurora shut down telegraph lines around the world. These streams of invisible charged particles have a strong effect on Earth's atmosphere and on the temperature on Earth, yet they're ignored by climate models. In 1999, NASA showed 1921 as the second warmest year on record in the United States, but they've since altered the data. By tampering with the data, NASA turned a cooling trend into a warming trend. Historical temperatures in the United States are cooled by a large amount, and recent temperatures are warmed by a large amount via the magic of government data tampering. Actual thermometer data shows that 1921 was the warmest year on record in Delaware. It was the warmest year on record in Illinois. Same story with Indiana. Same story with Kentucky. Same story with Louisiana. Same story with Maryland. Same story with Mississippi. Same story with Ohio. Same story with Pennsylvania. It was the warmest year on record in Tennessee. It was the warmest year on record in Texas. It was the warmest year on record in West Virginia as well. Scientists at the time understood the correlation between solar activity, heat, and drought. In 1921, glaciers were receding all over the world. Scientists understood at the time that the key to feeding the growing world population was to increase the amounts of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This is known as carbon dioxide fertilization, which was another central theme of the movie. In 1922, the U.S. Weather Bureau reported unheard of high temperatures in the Arctic. They said glaciers were disappearing. Many old landmarks are so changed as to be unrecognizable. Where formerly great masses of ice were found, they're now often moraines, accumulations of earth and stones. At many points where glaciers formerly extended far into the sea, they have entirely disappeared. The waters around Spitsbergen warmed up from 3 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius, and no ice formed around Spitsbergen that winter. This year, the ice around Spitsbergen is above average. Glacier National Park was melting so rapidly, experts predicted all the ice would be gone by 1950. There was widespread drought in the British Isles and unprecedented high temperatures during October. London got up close to 85 degrees Fahrenheit during October. There was mass starvation in Russia, excess heat in the United States for 14 months. Some of the worst flooding on record hit Colorado. As I mentioned earlier, there was no ice around Spitsbergen that winter. The prolonged heat in the U.S. was blamed on solar activity. Scientists understood in 1921 that the Earth's climate was not only controlled by solar activity, but it was also controlled by Sun, Earth, and other planets passing through regions of dust clouds in the solar system. A similar idea was presented in the climate movie. Climate academics earn their living by pushing the idea that carbon dioxide controls the Earth's temperature, so they've rewritten Earth's history. They've completely erased the heat of 1921. Dr. Jacobson makes his living pushing the climate scam, so he wants anyone who tells the truth to be censored. Carl Sagan explained the purpose of censorship.
And this combustible mixture of ignorance and power, sooner or later, is going to blow up in our faces. I mean, who is running the science and technology in a democracy if the people don't know anything about it? And the second reason that I'm worried about this is that science is more than a body of knowledge. It's a way of thinking, a way of skeptically interrogating the universe with a fine understanding of human fallibility. If we are not able to ask skeptical questions, to interrogate those who tell us that something is true, to be skeptical of those in authority, then we're up for grabs for the next charlatan, political or religious, who comes ambling along. It's a thing that Jefferson laid great stress on. It wasn't enough, he said, to enshrine some rights in a constitution or a Bill of Rights. The people had to be educated, and they had to practice their skepticism and their education. Otherwise, we don't run the government runs us.
And that is exactly why people profiting off of the climate scam demand censorship for anyone who tells the truth. Toto's been pulling back the curtain on junk science for 16 years. You can visit him and his family on the web at realclimatescience.com.